Good day, YouTube viewers. Jeff here with you. It is great to be back with you here in the JBSN Sports Cards and Autographs YouTube channel once again. Thank you for stopping by on your YouTube journey. If you're brand new to the channel, I welcome you aboard. Appreciate the opportunity. And if you're returning back to the channel once again, I appreciate you returning. Here in today's YouTube video, we are going to give you my official preview and predictions for WWE WrestleMania 40, the two-night event taking place from Lincoln Financial Field in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania this upcoming weekend. So with that being said, let's just go ahead and get into the card, and we'll give you my thoughts on the matches as we see fit. So, as of the time I'm recording this on Wednesday afternoon, April 3rd. There are 13 matches that have been signed over the two nights. We have 7 matches on night 1 and 6 matches on night 2. We're going to start with night 1 first, obviously. The first match we're going to go over here is the tag team match. We have Rey Mysterio Jr. and Dragon Lee teaming up to take on Santos Escobar and young Dominic Mysterio. Should be a very interesting match. This match more or less taking place within the last couple of weeks on WWE television. Of course, last year at WrestleMania, we saw Rey Mysterio Jr. and Dominic Mysterio Jr. have their match in which Rey Mysterio Jr. won, rightfully so. This year, it's a situation where you want to get Dragon Lee involved here. This will be his first WrestleMania. Of course, Santos Escobar is also going to be involved in this. So basically, it's more of a continuation of what we saw from the previous year. They've ramped it up more so in the last couple of weeks, getting Dominic Mysterio involved in this. Of course, Dominic Mysterio is with the Judgment Day. He is on loan from the Judgment Day here with Santos Escobar as part of Legado del Fantasma. So, of course, Rey Mysterio Jr. and Dragon Lee, part of the LWO. Dragon Lee just recently became a member. So again, interesting match. Not one of the more interesting matches or exciting matches I'm looking forward to, but obviously you got 4 decent workers in here. It should be very good. As far as what I think is going to happen here, this should be a win for Rey Mysterio Jr. and Dragon Lee. It's my prediction. The way I see it is that Dragon Lee, he's the one who should be getting the winning fall for his team here. Dragon Lee, he gets a big win at WrestleMania. He gets a big moment here. I think he either pins or submits Dominic Mysterio because there's no reason why you should be pinning or submitting Santos Escobar in this situation. And Rey Mysterio Jr., look, you could beat him, but I mean, I don't see what's gained at this point. The story should be with Dragon Lee trying to build him up, get him some momentum going forward. He came in the House of Fire and they really cooled him off. Now they're starting to heat him back up again. Of course, now he's part of the LWO, so hopefully that will help. And I think getting him a big win here with Rey Mysterio Jr. at WrestleMania 40 on night 1 by pinning or submitting Dominic and Santos is the right move here. So Rey Mysterio Jr. and Dragon Lee are my pick to win. Dragon Lee wins for his team by pinning or submitting Dominic Mysterio. 6-woman tag match up next here. We have Bianca Belair, Naomi, and Jade Cargill teaming up to take on Damage Control. That's Damage Control members of Dakota Kai, Asuka, and Kairi Sane. Asuka and Kairi Sane are the women's tag team champions. The women's tag team title belts are not on the line in this match. Jade Cargill just recently made her debut on television officially. We did see her in the Women's Royal Rumble earlier this year. But recently, a situation had come up on SmackDown in which Bianca Belair and Naomi have been taking on Damage Control here. Naomi had Bianca's back. And then Jade Cargill, who recently made her official appearance on SmackDown recently, at the end of the show came out when there was a beatdown angle going on with Damage Control on Bianca and Naomi. She came out and made the save for the baby faces and stood tall with them, and thus this match was made based off of that. So, look, for Jade Cargill, she gets me in her first WrestleMania. I think this is the wise thing to do with her. Have her in a tag match. This way, she is protected with 5, 6, if you want to count the referee as well. Other people involved in the match here, they can protect her. And they can kind of hide her weaknesses. Have Bianca and Naomi do most of the heavy lifting for their team here. Jade can come in and do some of her big spots here. Obviously, Damage Control members, Dakota Kai, Asuka, and Kairi Sane will bump for Jade Cargill. We did see Jade Cargill on SmackDown recently in that angle at the end of SmackDown recently. She actually hit her jaded finisher on Kairi Sane, the sit-down facebuster, also known as the Glam Slam that Beth Phoenix used for so many years. So we've seen her do that move. That was a move she did in AEW as well when she was the AEW TBS champion. So that's her finisher. She gave it away on SmackDown, and I think that's going to be the finish of this match as well. I think Bianca, Naomi, and Jade Cargill are winning this match. They're my pick. And for the reason why I think they're winning, because they're not going to have Jade Cargill in her first official match on the main roster be a part of a team that's going to lose here. I think Bianca, Naomi, and Jade are winning. I think Jade Cargill gets the winning pinfall for the team here, and I believe she is going to give Dakota Kai the Jaded, aka the Glam Slam. That's how I see it, because they've already given it to Kairi Sane, and I don't think you're going to do it to Asuka in this situation. Dakota Kai is the one who can take the fall here. And you're not going to pin one half of the women's tag team champions in this situation. So Jade Cargill gets the win for her team when she hits the Jaded on Dakota Kai. That's what I think the finish is going to be. But the baby faces are going over in this match. 6-pack ladder match for the undisputed WWE tag team titles. They're going to be in a ladder match here with the belts hanging high. We have the Judgment Day as the champions, being Damian Priest and Finn Balor. They're set to defend against Awesome Truth. That's The Miz and R-Truth. Also against DIY. That's Johnny Gargano and Tommaso Ciampa. The New Day, Kofi Kingston and Xavier Woods. The New Catch Republic, which is Pete Dunne and Tyler Bate. And A-Town Down Under, which is Austin Theory and Grayson Waller. So this match is an interesting one, because this is one of those matches where, I get this is one of those matches they want to get as many people onto WrestleMania as they possibly can, and this is a cheap, easy way to do it. I think this is going to be a cluster of clusters. Could it be a very good match? It could be. I just don't like the idea of the ladder match being for the tag team titles. If we were going to do a ladder match at WrestleMania, I would rather have been for the U.S. title or the Intercontinental title, personally. But again, it's a cheap, easy way to get as many people on the WrestleMania card as you can, and that's what they're going for here. Now, I will make mention that Michael Cole on Raw this week, in the final Raw before WrestleMania, definitely mentioned that both sets of titles have to be retrieved for the match to end, not just one set of titles. So I'm going to be under the assumption that all 4 titles are going to be hanging up, and it's not just one title from each brand, would be my guess. And as far as what I think is going to happen here, look, everyone's going to hit some spots here. Definitely going to see some spots off the ladder. But, here's what I'm thinking as far as who's going to be winning here. They're definitely telling the story that Awesome Truth, that's the Miz and R-Truth, are going to be winning at least one set of the belts. I do think they are winning at least one set of these belts here. So I'm expecting them to probably win the Raw version of the tag team titles. And as far as the other set of tag team titles, I don't think Priest and Balor are winning any of the titles here. I think they're dropping both sets of belts here. As far as who I think is going to win the other set, I have to believe that the New Catch Republic, that is Pete Dunne and Tyler Bate, are going to win the other set. It's what makes sense, because they recently put Pete Dunne and Tyler Bate together here to form the New Catch Republic. To me, they're going to probably win the other sets of tag team titles, and that's what I'm thinking here. I don't like the idea of splitting the belts. I like the idea of having one set of belts and merging the tag team divisions. You can have them float between both shows. I think at this point we need to get rid of both sets of tag belts and just have one unified tag team title. That's just my opinion. But again, it looks like they're going to be teasing the idea of splitting the belts again. So again, Awesome Truth, I think, is going to be winning one set of belts, and New Catch Republic going to be winning the other set. That's just my thought on the match. It's the Battle of the Brother Uso, as Jey Uso, main event Jey Uso, is going to be taking on Jimmy Uso here. A match that's been a long time in the making. They're going to be doing it here at WrestleMania 40. And again, Jey Uso definitely over with the crowd here. He's really come a long way here. And Jimmy Uso, of course, kind of one of the henchmen for the Bloodline here with Roman Reigns and Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. Very interesting match this is going to be. I expect both guys to go out here and deliver. I'm actually looking forward to this match. And I will say this. For the longest time, I thought Jey Uso should actually be the one to win this match. I don't think Jey Uso is going to win this match. I'm picking Jimmy Uso to actually win the match. Jimmy Uso actually needs to win this match more than Jey Uso does. Jey Uso is pretty well over at this point, so a loss to him does not necessarily hurt him. He's got enough credibility as it is already. Jimmy Uso is more or less like a punching bag in the Bloodline, and Jimmy Uso can use a big win here. And I believe he is going to get that win. It should be a very good match. Looking forward to it. Jimmy Uso is my pick to beat Jey Uso in the Battle of the Uso Brothers here at WrestleMania 40. WWE Intercontinental title match on the line here, as Walter, also known as Gunther, is defending that Intercontinental title. And, of course, he is the longest reigning Intercontinental champion in the history of the company. He's going to be taking on Sami Zayn here now. This is not really the match a lot of people wanted to see. They wanted to see Walter, also known as Gunther, taking on Chad Gable in this spot at WrestleMania. Now, I will say on television here recently, leading up here to WrestleMania, Sami Zayn and Chad Gable have been hanging around together. Chad Gable's trying to give instruction and advice to Sami Zayn on how he could beat Gunther to win the Intercontinental title. It should be a great match, no question about it. I would have preferred Chad Gable in the spot over against Gunther, not Sami Zayn. It's not a knock against Sami Zayn. I think Chad Gable has the better story to it. But as far as the match, again, it should be good. I don't see any reason why Sami Zayn should be winning the title here. I think Gunther retains the Intercontinental title. Should be a great match, but again, no reason why Gunther should be losing the title to Sami Zayn at this point. Sami Zayn has been the Intercontinental Champion before. We've been there, done that with him. And I think Gunther retains. Now, will they turn Chad Gable heel? I've heard a lot of people mention this. Turning Chad Gable heel to me does not make sense at this point. There's no reason why Chad Gable should be going heel. Could maybe Chad Gable do something by accident to cost Sami Zayn the match? It's possible. I don't want to see Sami Zayn going against Chad Gable, though they could possibly do that at some point. Gunther winning and retaining here is the move here. It is the right play, and I think that is what's happening here. So I will take Gunther to beat Sami Zayn to retain the Intercontinental title. WWE Women's Raw World Championship match with Rhea Ripley, a.k.a. Mommy, defending the title against Becky Lynch. Looking forward to this match. One of the matches on this entire WrestleMania card that I'm personally looking forward to watching. More so for the reason is to see the crowd reactions for both of these ladies. Becky Lynch is a popular babyface. Rhea Ripley is, quote unquote, a heel, even though she gets positive babyface reactions most of the time now. And, they're really playing into that. Again, it should be a great match. They've done a good job, keeping these two apart now. On Raw this week, before WrestleMania, they did have a big pull apart. They did it a couple of times throughout the show. And you had Becky Lynch going after Rhea Ripley on Ariel Helwani's MMA Hour when he was interviewing Rhea Ripley to talk about the match with Becky. So they're kind of playing it up here, building a lot of heat here at the end. Should be a great match. Looking forward to it. And look, I don't hide it. A lot of people probably noticed about me. I am a big Becky Lynch fan. But with that being said, I don't think her winning the title is the move here. I think Rhea Ripley should retain. Now, one of the things I'm interested in seeing about this, and here's my thought on this. Liv Morgan and Nia Jax, as of this point in me recording this prediction and preview thing for YouTube, neither of them have a match on the card at WrestleMania. Could we possibly see Liv Morgan and or Nia Jax get involved in this match? I certainly wouldn't rule it out. I think it's certainly a possibility that we could see one and or both of them making some type of involvement in this match. I don't want to see some sort of screwy finish, controversial finish here. I want to see a clean finish here, a clean victory. And the way I think we see it here, with Rhea and Becky doing their match, I can see Nia Jax coming down to the ring during the match at some point. Maybe tries to get involved, but Liv Morgan runs out, goes after Nia, and they brawl to the back. I could see that happening. Again, it's a cheap, easy way to get both of them on the WrestleMania without actually doing a proper match. Now, I'm saying this without the idea of maybe them possibly doing a women's battle royal. Now, that has not been announced yet. Maybe that's something they could add at the last minutes, but at this point, that has not been made official. Other than that, neither of them have anything to do at WrestleMania, and I could see them both playing some sort of a factor being seen in this match. But at the end of the day, Rhea Ripley should be retaining the Raw Women's World title. That's just the move here. And I do believe Rhea is going babyface soon after this as well, because, she's already getting positive babyface reactions. And as far as Becky Lynch goes, I'm not saying that she's going to be retiring, because she's not retiring yet, but I do think Becky Lynch coming out of WrestleMania, I think is going to be, taking a little bit of a break, I think. You have to remember with Becky, she is a mom now, and she has this new book out that she's plugging and promoting a lot of right now as well. So I do expect a lot of that more from Becky going forward. So I do think Becky's going to be working a little bit less on television now. And Rhea Ripley, look, it gives Rhea a big win over an established person like Becky Lynch, who has main evented a WrestleMania already. And that gives her a lot of credibility for Rhea. So and I think that's what they're going to do. It should be great. Looking forward to it. Rhea Ripley is my pick to retain the Raw Women's World title. And what will be the main event of Night 1 of WrestleMania 40, the big tag team match that everyone's been talking about. We have Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson and Roman Reigns from the Bloodline here teaming up to take on Cody Rhodes and Seth Rollins. Again, very interesting match, very intriguing, and of course the stipulation is if The Rock and Roman were to win this match, then the match at night 2 in the main event with Cody and Roman will be a Bloodlines rule match. We did see that on Raw this week with Seth Rollins and Solo Sikoa. You know, in a Bloodline rules match, it's just a fancy name for a no disqualification match. That's basically all it is. It's something we've seen plenty of. It's just a fancy name that they've given it. Now, I will say on Raw this week, we did see a big confrontation. All four of these guys at the end of the show in a big pull apart here. A lot of brawling at the end here. Cody was able to get some shots in on Dwayne, and I will say Dwayne did a good job selling for Cody. He actually was taking some bumps here, but ultimately at the end when Raw ended, you saw Rock and Roman Reigns. They both laid the smackdown on Cody and Seth and left them laying with the heels being the Rock and Roman standing tall to end Raw. So it was nice for Dwayne to take some bumps because that needed to happen here. Cody got no offense on Rock the previous time when Rock left him laying outside in the rain at the end of Raw 2 weeks ago. So we needed to see that here. And as far as this goes, you have to believe that Roman Reigns is going to be doing most of the heavy lifting in this match. I don't expect Dwayne to be doing a whole lot here. Obviously, he can't afford to get hurt because I'm of the assumption that he's going to be doing a movie pretty soon after WrestleMania. So he can't really afford to get too hurt here or really do anything too dangerous. I do think he'll hit some of his signature spots here in the match, and Cody and Seth will bump for him, no question about it. And I think at the end of the day, I think they made it pretty obvious. Rock and Roman are winning this match. We are going to get the Bloodline Rules match in the Night 2 main event, and you know because if they had not mentioned that, then you can make a case that Cody and Seth would win. But because they mentioned it so long ago, it's been pretty obvious for a while what the outcome was going to be here. And I do expect Cody Rhodes to take the fall here. I could see Dwayne pinning Cody here. I don't think you have Roman pin Cody. Because, I mean, you could do that. But I think Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson actually gets the pin on Cody Rhodes. And that's how Night 1 closes out here with Rock and Roman winning here to set up the Bloodline Rules match for Night 2. So that's Night 1 of WrestleMania. Moving on to Night 2. 6 matches on the card, as I said. We have Bobby Lashley and the Street Profits, of course being Montez Ford and Angelo Dawkins. They're going to be taking on the Final Testament. That's Killer Karrion Kross and the Authors of Pain, Akeem and Rezar. Philadelphia Street Fight is what they're billing this match as. They need a gimmick for this match. This is one of the matches on the card I'm actually not looking forward to. This program has not really done anything for me. And it's unfortunate considering the talent that's in this match. There's some pretty good talent in this match, but I just don't care about this program. I don't care about this feud. And I will say, the Final Testament, through most of the time here, has gotten the better end of Bobby Lashley and the Street Profits here. You know, they've laid Bobby Lashley and the Street Profits out several times here. It makes it too obvious here, and I think that's what they're going to do here. I think Bobby Lashley and the Profits get some heat back here and they win this match. The Final Testament stuff, you know, I'm just being honest with you from my perspective. It's not really getting over. It's not really getting over at this point. The only good thing about the whole thing is Scarlett Bordeaux. Let's just be honest. Now, I will say it is cool to see Paul Ellering back on wrestling television. Of course, I remember him from way back in the day when he used to manage the Legion of Doom at Talking Animal, the Road Warriors, way back in the day. So it is cool to see Paul Ellering back on television again, but obviously Bobby Lashley and the Street Profits need to win here. They've been taking a lot of heat from the Final Testament, and I think they get some of their heat back here, so they're my pick to win. LA Knight, taking on the phenomenal one, AJ Styles, in a grudge match here. Again, while it should be a very good match, I'm not actually overly invested in this program, to be honest with you. And I know on SmackDown recently they did an angle where they had LA Knight, quote-unquote, invade AJ Styles' home. Though they didn't go inside the home, they did this thing outside of his home there in Gainesville, Georgia. And they had the local police come and arrest, quote-unquote, LA Knight. A lot of people liked that, and if you liked it, that was fine. I was pretty much indifferent to it. I had LA Knight himself actually, they'd done the deal where he actually went inside the home. Maybe it would have been a little bit better. I thought it was kind of just there, nothing really special about it. And I know LA Knight recently got some heat back on AJ Styles at one point here on television on SmackDown. The previous SmackDown, not this upcoming week's SmackDown. We'll wait and see what happens there, but as far as who wins this one, LA Knight should be winning this match. LA Knight 100% should be winning this match. AJ Styles, he's a very good hand to have around. At this point, AJ Styles should be putting it over LA Knight. LA Knight needs to be moving on to something bigger and better, and hopefully we're going to be getting to that here, and I'm going to talk about that in a minute. But LA Knight is my pick to beat AJ Styles in this grudge match. We have a triple threat for the United States title. Logan Paul defending that title against Randy Orton and Kevin Owens in a triple threat match. Again, I believe this is the match that should have been the ladder match instead of the tag team title match. But again, this should be a very good, interesting match here. Very, very interested to see, very eager to see how they're going to handle this one. But again, Logan Paul, to his credit, I think he's actually done a better job as a champion compared to Roman Reigns. He doesn't do a whole lot more, but, at least he's more visible and all that kind of stuff. Again, should be a very interesting match. A lot of people think we're getting a title change here. I don't think we're getting a title change here at all. I think Logan Paul winds up retaining here. I think Randy Orton and Kevin Owens kind of eliminate each other in this situation. And Logan Paul, I could see him pinning Kevin Owens. That's kind of what I think is going to happen here. I don't see any reason why they should be taking the title off Logan Paul right now. I do think Logan Paul retains here, and I do think what they should be setting up to going forward is a program with Logan Paul and LA Knight. That's what they should be doing. I thought maybe that's what they were going to do here at WrestleMania, but they're kind of holding off. LA Knight and Logan Paul is going to be the money match, and LA Knight should be the one to take the United States title off Logan Paul when the time is right. I do think that is going to happen at some point, but for now, as far as the triple threat goes, Logan Paul is my pick to retain. WWE SmackDown Women's title match here has Iyo Sky, also known as Iyo Sky, from Damage Control, taking on Bayley. Of course, Bayley was kicked out of Damage Control several weeks ago, has since turned babyface once again, getting big positive reactions. Now, we did see on television recently, Bayley get some of her heat back on Iyo when Iyo was doing an interview and Bayley attacked her when she was doing this interview. I guess that's the Performance Center or wherever it was. So Bayley did get some heat back, though they've made Bayley look like a fool throughout most of this. And it just, to me, this is a situation, while I do like Iyo Sky, her run as champion has been mostly forgettable, mostly unmemorable. And I think this is the time where they're going to do it with Bayley. I think they're going to put the belt on Bayley. I do think we are getting a title change here. Bayley's been one of these people and been one of these situations where she's always the bridesmaid and never the bride. I think Bayley gets her big WrestleMania moment here. I think she beats Iyo Sky or Iyo Sky, depending on what you want to call her. And Bayley gets her big win in front of the big crowd in Philadelphia. People want to see Bayley win the title here, and I think it's the move here. I think Bayley is going to become the new WWE Women's Champion, and that's what I think we're getting here. So Bayley will finally get her moment here. It's going to be great to see. The Monday Night Raw World Heavyweight title match is up next here on the card. We have Seth freaking Rollins defending that title against Drew McIntyre. Very interesting match. Now, of course, I will mention this, that CM Punk, yes, we did see CM Punk back on television recently. CM Punk is going to be doing color commentary for this match, which is going to be very interesting. Now, what does CM Punk do in this match? Does he get involved in any way? We don't know how physical he can take. Supposedly, he did say in his interview with Ariel Helwani this week, which in itself was a very telling interview. Not going to get into that now, but he says he's ahead of schedule as far as his rehab goes. I don't know if he's going to be able to take any bumps here. He's going to be doing color commentary. You have to think somewhere in this match he's going to get involved, and we'll see what happens. Should be a very good match. I mean, obviously these two have faced each other before. And there is also a lot of talk, about Drew McIntyre's contract supposedly being up very soon. Could that be something that is played a factor into in this situation? Again, time will tell on that. But, as far as this match goes, it's a coin flip for me, honestly, because they can really go either way with this. I think at the end of the day, I think Drew McIntyre wins the title. I would have Drew McIntyre get his big moment that he should have gotten 4 years ago that he was robbed of because of the pandemic. And the time 4 years ago when he won the title in the empty Performance Center, I think they owe him this, where they give him a big win in front of a big crowd in Philadelphia. And for the fact that I think Seth Rollins, it's time for him to drop the belt here. He's done a pretty good job as champion, but I think we're getting to the point now where it's time for Drew McIntyre to win the title. Now, one thing you have to keep in mind as well, Damian Priest, he still has that Money in the Bank briefcase. It's still looming very large right now. Does Damian Priest try to get involved in this match somehow? Does he try to cash in at any point? Does he cash in during the match? Do they make it a triple threat match? They could do that. To me, I think that's a cop-out, honestly. I hope they don't do that, but, keep that in mind as well. Does Damian Priest, cash in immediately after the match when Drew McIntyre beats Seth Rollins? Again, they could do that. I just don't see Damian Priest as someone holding the title, though I would not be opposed to it. I can't picture it happening, unfortunately. And at some point, Damian Priest is going to cash in that briefcase. We're getting close to the point where it needs to happen. I just don't see Seth Rollins leaving WrestleMania as the champion. I just don't see it being the move. So I am picking Drew McIntyre to leave WrestleMania 40 as the new Monday Night Raw World Heavyweight Champion. In the main event of Night 2, WWE Undisputed Universal Title match. It's going to be a Bloodline Rules match as Roman Reigns defends the title against Cody Rhodes. Now, again, a Bloodline Rules match. Basically anything goes. No disqualifications, no countouts. Hardcore match, no holds barred, whatever you want to call it. It's all the same thing here. And obviously, we're going to see a lot of smoke and mirrors here. I do expect the Bloodline to definitely be involved here. No question about it. My big question is, do we see any new members of the Bloodline make an appearance here? Perhaps Jacob Fatu, that's been rumored, maybe Jeremiah Fatu. Definitely possibility that we could see at least one of those people show up. I could definitely see them getting involved. If not in this match, I could see them getting involved perhaps in the Jimmy and Jey Uso match. That on Night 1. But I do think there was a lot of talk that Jacob Fatu is coming in. There's been heavy rumor about that for a while now. So again, we'll see what happens. I do expect a lot of interference from the Bloodline here. I do think Seth Rollins and Jey Uso are going to get involved in this as well. And a lot of talk, a lot of rumor and innuendo that supposedly John Cena and or Stone Cold Steve Austin could be a factor in this as well. They kind of planted the seeds for that a couple of weeks ago. If you remember the brawl outside that Cody and Dwayne had in the rain in Chicago, if you noticed during that whole situation when Rock was laying the SmackDown on Cody, the one production truck that had the picture of John Cena and Stone Cold Steve Austin on it. I don't know if you guys saw that. I remember seeing that. I thought that was very telling. A lot of talk that maybe we could be seeing them get involved in this as well. This is going to be a chaotic mess, no question about it. I expect a lot of, smoke and mirrors, a lot of wild things going on. But ultimately, at the end of the day, when it's all said and done, I do think Cody Rhodes will finish his story. It is the move that has to happen here. Cody Rhodes will beat Roman Reigns no matter how it happens. At the end of the day, Cody Rhodes will pin Roman Reigns in the middle of that ring and will become the new WWE Undisputed Universal Champion. That's what needs to happen. A lot of people felt that it should have happened last year. And ultimately, I do think this is going to be the genesis, because they've been planting the seeds for this as well, of a match with Roman Reigns and The Rock. They were planning on doing it this year, but, the fans, turned sour on the idea. And it looks like they're planting the seeds to do the match next year at WrestleMania 41. So, again, we'll wait and see on that. Honestly, I'm probably in the minority. I'm not really jazzed about a Roman Rock match. If anything, they should have done it last year at WrestleMania when they were in Los Angeles, but they didn't want to do the match. Vince didn't want it to happen. Believe whatever you want to believe about that, but, they're definitely planting the seeds for it happening next year at WrestleMania, which appears to be obvious. Dwayne is pretty much going away after WrestleMania. I assume he's got some movies to do. He's got to film a movie or something. He's got the UFL to be involved in. He's got a lot of stuff going on in his plate as well, and Roman, we know, is a part-time performer already as it is. So I do expect Roman, shortly after WrestleMania to be going away for a while here as well, so again, that's what I think we're getting, and Cody should finish his story. That is the move. It is the right thing that should be happening here. And I think Night 2 ends with a big Cody Rhodes celebration when it's all said and done. I do think his family is going to be there minus Dustin. I don't think they're going to... Dustin Rhodes, I think, will be there, probably not on camera. I do think we'll see Brandy and I guess their daughter as well. Again, we'll see what happens. But again, Night 2 should be ending with Cody Rhodes as the new champion. That is the only acceptable outcome here. We do not need to see Roman Reigns retaining the title coming after WrestleMania here. That's just the way it is. But again, we'll see what happens. That's just my thought on it. But there you go, folks. That's my official preview and predictions For WrestleMania 40, it's going to be a big card again. They could maybe add one more match, maybe a Women's Battle Royal match or something. We'll see. But again, that's my whole thought on it. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Do you agree with my picks? Who do you think is going to win? Do you think Cody's going to finish his story? Let me know in the comment section below. We're going to watch it take place in Philadelphia, and then we'll see what happens. So just my thoughts on it. We'll see you the next time right here on YouTube. Bye for now, everyone.